What's going on, traders? Back with another video. This video we're just going to be going over trading with the trend, and you're like on your intermediate time frame, how to do that, and little tips and tricks, things that I use, and just sort of just kind of like the rules and according to the methodology what you're supposed to do. So, all right, we'll hop right into it. So, this was a trade that I took on this 4-hour Aussie New Zealand. I noticed that it pushed up. It was getting rejected, so I did end up moving my stop loss to break even. It was a break even trade for me, which that's fine. I was okay with it. I've been trying this new thing too, where I haven't been putting this is my risk to reward. Like I haven't been giving it like a lot of room. I've just been trying to make it tight. And the reason I'm doing that is because I went back, I looked at my journal, as I recommend to everybody to, if you're in the Discord group, you know that I always recommend to journal all your trades because you can go back, you can start seeing patterns, things you could have done better, different, right? So one thing I noticed was that if price did come and if price did come to here, it went down to here most of the time. There's a couple exceptions. On the 5-minute, it's pretty choppy, so you kind of want to give it some room. But on entering on a 4-hour or a 1-hour, I've just been trying to make my stop loss tighter, so my risk to reward is tighter, just in order to hit my first take profit sooner, which is always 2 to 1. Anyways, so essentially my thought process here was, this is the daily. This is clearly daily demand down here. It's kind of choppy, but clearly buying down here. The trend, I would consider this sideways. This demand was removed. You can't, it's kind of choppy. So to me, that's sideways, but the demand is in control, right? We had it down, demand was tagged down here, tagged here again. The demand is clearly in control. If this was the opposite and this was coming up here like that, then supply would be in control and I'd be looking for shorts. But the daily was in control, so I saw that. And don't even pay attention to the 1 hour. The 1 hour, I'll show you why you should later and what I should have did differently. But right now the 1 hour does not matter. So this is essentially a top-down analysis right now as well. So I come, I'm looking at my watch list, boom, boom, boom. Nothing. Oh, okay. See this nice uptrend. Daily's in control. So we'll go here. So what I saw was these supply zones being removed and a very clear uptrend. So let me see if I can find that tool. Poly, well, even a brush would be fine, I think. Shoot. Right there. That is your uptrend. Supply was removed. Let me just get rid of all this stuff now. Sorry, guys. Anyways, get rid of that too. So I noticed that the trend was up. I found this nice continuation pattern here. I liked it. I liked the strong move away, obviously. Like, look at that candle. That's what you want. You don't really want like you want to move like this, right? Like, you don't really want something like that or whatever, right? Like this grinding out. I like these strong imbalances, guys. It's huge. Anyways, so I might have even been able to tighten it up like that, and then my 2-1 might even have been hit. Anyways, so I noticed the uptrend. It's a nice continuation pattern, and if you look, you might say there's a lot of trading in this area, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To me, that's like the maximum. Like, in my opinion, it was like this zone just qualified for me. Like 1 or 2 more candles, and I would have definitely been way more hesitant of the trading in the area. But I said, you know what? I like the imbalance. Because this was also a very clear resistance level that had been broken. So I like that. And I wouldn't even be surprised. Another reason I moved my stop loss to break even was because it's Friday today. Yeah, it's Friday right now. And I just didn't want it to just be, screwing around down here and then maybe sitting right here and having to close out for a loss because I don't like holding over the weekend all the time. And then waking up Monday morning and seeing it all up there, right? So that's another reason. Anyways, so we'll go here. So we had the uptrend, right? I wish I could do. So this right here, I'll even draw the zone on this other chart. So right there. So this is when the zone was formed. So we're looking at this like that. And this would be, it's very important when you're trading outside the trend or outside the outside your higher time frame. It's very important to have your entry time frame trend line, momentum line. Very important, because let's just say this came up here, and then here, let me get my brush. Where's the brush? There it is. So let's just say we had the push up. Let's just say it started to push. We had the stay away candle. Let's just say it pushed right straight back down into it. That would have been ideal. Then we could have taken, a 1 hour level right here. Not even including the 4 hour. Because the reason is, this is a 4 hour as well, so it's kind of a bad example. It's hard to find a good example right now, but essentially if there was another level right here, like a nice continuation pattern, let's just say right here, and that's still in line with this 1 hour momentum line, that's a valid trade. You can take that 1 hour level. I do recommend looking for an extra 5-minute confirmation in there just in case. But if you're kind of seeing what I'm saying, if the 4 hour trend is up and the trend line is still intact, and you have a 1 hour trend up as well, which you are going to have, and the momentum line is still intact, then you can take a set and forget 1 hour level. Mostly they're going to be continuation patterns. And what makes it valid is that this momentum line is still intact. Now, let's just pretend that this level here that I drew out, it's not a level. It's funny, it worked too for a second, but let's just pretend that this is a level. Or you know what? It's tough to find a good example. But essentially, if price does not come down and hit the 1 hour level while this trend line isn't intact, then that 1 hour level becomes invalid. And then you must look at a 1 hour level inside of the 4 hour. So let's just say the level was here. It broke the trend line. Then you know what? I can't buy the 1 hour level that's here. I now have to go to my intermediate time frame, look for a 1 hour level inside there. So you might have found, you could have just drawn this out like that. Now that's valid because it is inside the 4 hour. But what I like to do is, because a lot of times I find that you miss it, I just like to take the whole 4 hour. That's also valid. But I did, and I'm at break even. But if I did take this 1 hour at the extreme, which is valid, I probably would have had my 2-to-1 for sure. But whatever. So I kind of hope you're getting it. Maybe I'm explaining it kind of bad. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but a lot of these pairs have just been ranging and just haven't really been trending. But it took me a while to understand it as well. So essentially, you want the 4 hour to be trend. You want your intermediate to be trending, and then your entry time frame to be trending as well, and for the momentum line, trend line to be intact. Then you can take a 1 hour level outside of your intermediate time frame level. If not, if that trend line on the 1 hour or your entry time frame is broken, then the 1 hour becomes invalid. And let's just say the level was right here. Price is coming down. It's like, oh, it's getting kind of close to breaking the level. I find that a lot of the times they don't work. That's just from my personal experience. Don't trust me though. Look into it yourself. But yeah, so that's why this 1 hour worked, in my opinion, is because it was inside of a bigger time frame, 4 hour demand. Because I've been burned so many times when I was starting out and I didn't really understand this concept. It's very important. And if I ever do take a zone that's questionable, that's about to break the momentum line, I'm always looking for that extra like 5 minute confirmation just in case. Um, I will make more videos on this too. This was like essentially one of the only pairs that was like actually had a very nice trend up. So that's why I've been waiting to do a video on it. But yeah, that's the rules according to Alfonso's methodology, the supply and demand book that is in the book that is in the rules. And you know what? It it makes a lot of sense in my opinion because the 4 hours stronger than would be stronger than the 1 hour. And you know what? Maybe next time instead of taking the whole 4 hour, maybe I'll try to redefine it on the 1 hour or just do something where I've heard of people doing this where they just see this 4 hour here that I took. They'll just be like, yeah, they'll just risk it in half. Look at like they'll just risk half, tighten up their entry, right? It's just something you can do. And you know what? To be honest, guys, like I'm just starting to learn how to properly take trades outside of your higher time frame. It's not that I haven't before, but it was before I was getting burnt a lot. But lately, since I've been following this entry time frame momentum line break rule, it's been a hell of a difference, and I definitely recommend you guys paying attention to that. I definitely recommend reading that book. It definitely helped me out. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for now. Not really sure what else to say. If there's any other examples, I'll make quick little trend videos or whatever. And this is also you can do this on any time frames. This is just my sequence. If you want to start with the weekly, daily, 4 hour, then you know your weekly you'd find your curve, see what's in control. You'd find your daily trend, and then you'd be on the 4 hour. Same thing with scalping, everything, right? So that's pretty much it. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Maybe give it a thumbs up. And if you know anybody that wants to trade outside the higher time frame, because it does really help, guys. Like, because a lot of the times the pairs aren't trading. Like I know traders that only trade inside the higher time frame, which is fine. Like, trust me, I would almost prefer to just trade inside the higher time frame levels. But at the same time, like it's like this past week has been a good example. It's like just everything's just been like ranging or just kind of been like, hey, see how this is all sideways? And it's like, okay, well, nothing's really going on in the daily, but look at the 4 hour. It's a very clear uptrend, a very nice uptrend too. I really like that. Yeah, so it's a huge benefit. And another reason I'm learning how to trade outside the higher time frame too is because eventually I want to trim my watch list down to maybe a couple pairs or maybe just the majors, so that I can trade outside the higher time frame and all that stuff and have less pairs and just kind of have more focus. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something here. And honestly, like I know I didn't do the best job at explaining it, but if you guys have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer because I can definitely explain it a lot better than how I just did. That's for sure. But anyways, guys, take care. Appreciate you guys watching. See ya.